Comrade Show with Comrade Lante Oriake. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our wonderful viewers wherever you are in the globe. This is your darling program, the one we call the Comrade and Friends. Just before I start, I want to tender an unreserved apology for starting some 8 minutes behind schedule. Sometimes you put everything in place, just at the minute things happen. You know what technology is. But having said that, you are welcome this 19th day of June 2022. We are coming your way again and on your screen to talk about things affecting us as humans and indeed Nigeria. Today is indeed a special day. It is Father's Day. And your darling program, the Comrade and Friends, we are going to take a very holistic look at what and who makes a good father and any road for improvement, even if you term yourself as a failing father. Realizing that men are uniquely important in the country, in a nation, in a society, and of course, in a family. So most or much of what we see today can be attributed to either good fatherhood or poor fatherhood. And of course, you know, the Comrade Show is politics, and politics is Comrade Show. At some point in the course of the program today, we'll be looking at events, political events happening across our country. Only yesterday was the conclusion of Ekiti governorship election. Winners have been declared. In the course of the program, we are going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about the trending issue of Father Ejike Mbaka on the issue of stinginess, generosity, and what that has to do with who governs us. We shall look at that. And of course, too, the sensitization for PVC will continue. But the fulcrum of our discussion today is indeed fatherhood. On that note, I want to say a very happy Father's Day to all fathers out there. Intending fathers, you are not left out. In fact, all male folks who one day will be fathers. The Comrade Show, and indeed all of us, we are saying a very, very happy Father's Day. For the records, I remain your friend, your comrade, Pharmacist Augustine Iremira. But I'm not alone today in the show. We have the two other musketeers, our CNCs in the house. And I have a surprise package as well from you. We made all effort to get her into the studio today. She will be staying with us for a short while to help us deepen understanding, knowledge, and likely the importance of being a father in a society and indeed the family. We are men. We want to be gender sensitive and gender balanced. She is in transit, but we've been able to get her to come and help us look at fatherhood from another side. First, as a girl, as a woman, and also as a wife. So we have a big elephant in the house. I would allow all of us to introduce ourselves. She will be talking to us and she will leave us at some point because I understand she's got another flight to catch. She's a strong woman in huge demand. Having said that, let me seize this singular honor to bring in the musketeers of the Comrade Show. No other but our CNC, Comrade Lante Ponsareki. Please say hello to the wonderful people and our viewers.
Thank you very much, Comrade Pharmacist Austin Iremira. Thank you so very much for your encourage. Of course, Nigerians across the world, greetings to you all. My name is Comrade Lamte Maunsa Oriahi. I'm particularly glad to welcome you all to this segment. Please do us a favor, share this broadcast. It's important. And most of all, I want to say Happy Father's Day to every father in the house. And of course, to intending fathers. And of course, I equally want to extend the Father's Day, greetings to the mothers in the house. Because at the end of the day, collectively, we all come together to make families work. And by so doing, we are making society work. But are we really working as a nation? That's what it's about. Thank you very much. Over to you, Austin Iremira.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lante Ponsareki at DSCNC. You've captured it very well. And to our viewers, Whilst we celebrate Father's Day, the topic today is Nigeria and the need for dutiful fatherhood. Without wasting time, I call on Dr. Tony Abbott to say hello to our people. Dr. Tony Abbott, you are looking absolutely take away today. Can you greet our people?
Thank you very much, my brother, pharmacist Austin Agboje Iremiran. You know, I like calling all your names. Thank you for being on the box seat today, moderating us. Happy Father's Day to you, my bro. And a very happy Father's Day. I join you and Comrade Oriaki to say happy Father's Day to all our viewers across the world. Happy Father's Day to all, mentors who have mentors, fathers, and intending fathers as well. Please, like we always say on this show, share this broadcast. Don't watch this exciting, dynamic show alone. Share it, please, on all our social media handles, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of them. Keep sharing. Because like Pharmacist Remira said, today's topic, we are sizing it up with the celebration of today. Fatherhood. Fatherhood, very, very important, and is very key to the growth of any society or nation. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Abbott. You look to me today like the man I used to know around 1979, going to 80 and 81. You are looking more like former governor of the then Bende State, Professor Abrus Ali. You are looking like him. That's good. I know you are going to share a lot in this very important topic. Like I told us, we have a very big elephant in the house. We caught her in transit and we got her to join us today to help us understand fatherhood. No other but our own Madam Dr. Loretta Ogborooko. Please say hello to our people.
Thank you very much, comrades and friends. Pharmacist Augustine Iremira, Dr. Agbonsereife Tony, Comrade Lamte Oriahi. I say well done to all of you. You have shown exemplary fatherhood status with your consistency on the Comrade Show and how you nurture the ideas of people who watch you globally, your global audience across the world. Today, as we celebrate Father's Day, I want to say a big thumbs up, well done to all the men out there who understand the meaning of fatherhood. It's not whether you're a biological father or not that matters. It is you understanding this concept of fatherhood, which we'll be talking about today. And I say kudos to all the women out there who support these men as they nurture fatherhood for a lifetime. I'm still Loretta, Dr. Loretta Oduware Ogborooko, and I'm very, very pleased to be on the Comrade Show today after a long time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Loretta, for sparing the time to be with us today. I understand you are supposed to be in another meeting, but we're not going to take much of your time. But we needed to have you on the show today so that we can get your own perspective. I just want to say that you are looking ever so beautiful as before, ever so radiant. Hence, I want to call you Omona BSA. Thank you so much for being a trailblazer and a true Edo daughter. We've established that our people, we are going to throw the lines open on this discussion. If you have anything to say, as usual, please pick up the phone just to talk about fatherhood and what it means to yourself and what you think true father should be. But Loretta, I'm not going to leave you alone. I'm just going to start straight with you. Give us. You are a girl, a woman, a mother. You've seen it all. Above all, you are a doctor. Give us your perspective. What is fatherhood and what is Father's Day to you?
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Remiran. I want us to first of all realize that the family is the unit of every society. So just like you have a human being, you have living organisms, and you have a cell, which is the unit, the building block of that human being or that animal or anything at all. So also the family is the unit, the cell, the building block of every society on this planet. So in these units, you have men, you have women, and the men have come to play different and diverse roles. I heard someone saying yesterday, oh, it's a man's world. And I said, okay, fine, it's a man's world. You are able to allude to the fact that it's your world. But are you able to take responsibility for nurturing that world? So today, as we celebrate Father's Day worldwide, I want us to take it beyond the concept of biological fathering anybody. So, are you thinking that because my sperm has fertilized an egg, I have now earned the right to say, oh, I'm a father? Is that where it stops? No, that is where it starts. That's not where it stops. Fatherhood is what we should be pushing. And as a girl child, I was privileged to have been raised by a man, and I put that in my broadcast this morning, by a man who understood the meaning of fatherhood. So, what my father did was that he took out the best in all of us and nurtured it. It was like taking a seed, planting it, and watering it every day. So, what I wrote in my book, you see, whereas when we're growing up, we'll see our friends running away when their fathers come, running away when they hear the horn of their father's car, we would run to our father. Why would I run to my father? I used to run to my father because my father is coming home, maybe with some donuts, some roasted plantain. He would come home with something. Daddy would come home with something. It didn't need to be the most expensive thing. It was just that love. And then when he gives it to you, he takes a bite from it as well. He shares it amongst all of you. When he was sharing, he was teaching us the concept of sharing. He was nurturing in us the concept of giving. And he was making us understand that as a unit, we needed to live for others, not just be selfish. Because the default mode as human beings is to be selfish. So, as a girl child, I grew up by a father who made me believe that there was absolutely nothing I cannot do. Every morning, my father would come to my room, wake me up, and say, Ta, get up, or it's time for school. Do you know you are the most beautiful child on this planet? You are fearfully and wonderfully made. My friends will come and see me, and as they are going, my father will say, Ah, when six of you were walking away today, I just looked at all of you, and you are the most beautiful out of all of them. Not because you are my daughter, but you are actually the most beautiful. So every day I got told that. I got told how special I am. And when I grew up as a young woman, I then understood that nobody was going to come and be able to make me inferior. And when I grew up and decided to marry, I married for all the right reasons. Because my father had raised me up to understand that I can fend for myself. I can be anything I want to be. So when it was time to marry, I wasn't seeking someone who I would exploit. Rather, I was seeking an intellectual equal. And this doesn't have anything to do with book sense. It doesn't have to do with certificates. It just has to do with building the self esteem of your children, especially your daughters. How are you mentoring those around you? How are you taking care of your wife? This is the holistic concept of fatherhood. You can't tell me that you are a father. You go outside for all the parties, you spray dollar notes, you spray pounds, you spray naira, but your wife cannot ask you for money in the house to even do her hair. Your wife goes to the salon and comes back. You don't notice that her hair is being done. You don't say, ah, my dear, this hair is beautiful. But if it's side chick now, you'll be screaming, ah, you look hot, baby. So I think that we should embrace the holistic attribute that is fatherhood and begin to nurture those around us decisively. It's a decisive decision. I'm sure my father was not always like that. I'm sure at some point in his life, he decided, he made a conscious decision to begin to nurture all of us. Now, let me state here clearly that you could nurture 30 people and only five would pick up your nurturing. Jesus Christ said it as well. When you scatter the seeds, some will fall on the rock, some may not grow well, but others may absorb things and grow very well or fall on fertile soil. So don't be disheartened as well if you are a father and it looks like your nurturing is falling on deaf ears or on deaf hearts. The key is to continue, because as you nurture that family and the people around you, you are building the nation. Thank you. I'll stop
Thank you.
for now so I don't
Yeah.
embezzle too much of your time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Loretta. You are not embezzling any time. As we were reading those stuff out, I was just remembering a lot. And I can say that you have encapsulated 5 things that I find very important: responsibility, sharing, praises, empowerment, mentoring, and all those things involve nurturing. I
Yeah,
think you have set the tone in the right place for us to have this discussion. I'll be going straight to Dr. Tony Agbons. I know you as a perfect gentleman, a family man, and yourself a father. Based on what Loretta has said, and with the challenges that we have in our society today, especially on the issue of responsibility, I dare want to push the discussion slightly to maybe financial responsibility. I just want you to give us your own perspective and what you think a good father should be or look like.
Thank you very much, my brother, Comrade Iremira. You know, it's a very tough ask to speak after Dr. Loretta Oduwari Ogboroko. She's virtually said everything. So, but going straight to the question you have asked me, it is a very huge privilege to be a father. And it is a huge privilege, like Dr. Loretta has said, not just a father who have had children because of the fertilization of a sperm and an egg, you know, man and woman. Not just that. We are looking beyond that. There are, you know, men who have mentored children who necessarily did not have biological children of their own, but people call them father all over the place, and they've done really, really well for society. So I think I really align with her analysis. Perfectly done. Now, coming to the question you asked me, fatherhood comes with a lot of duties and responsibilities. You know, my brother, those days when we used to write CVs, curriculum vitae, you will get to that point for duties and responsibility, you know, for whatever role you want to go and apply for in that company or organization. That is how it is with fatherhood. It is a highly responsible office. For me, I see it as an office. And it is one office that have determined the destiny of nations. So, and it should not be taken lightly. So, but there's a lot of challenges as well. It's an office that have got a lot of benefit, respect, okay, but there are a lot of responsibility. And you just mentioned one. There's financial pressure with it. As a father, you have to be up and doing. Yes, our mothers, they will support. I grew up, my mom was very supportive of my dad. You know, growing up, I saw all that. And I know there are a lot of mothers who also support, you know, fathers. But as a father, we, you know, we are the head of the family. We have to play our role very well. The governance of the home, the father have to, you know, really make sure that the government is very, very solid. Things are going on well. Definitely, there will be challenges. I'm married. I've been married for so many years now, and I know that there's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of pressure that come with the home, running of the home. So as fathers, we have to keep working hard. We have to listen to the other parties in the home, the wife, the children. They should also have a say, and we all work in tandem, because the truth of the matter is, it is the family, like Dr. Loretta said, that is the bedrock of nationhood. I will stop there for now, my brother.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. I love your analysis. And I think you've anchored it on two great things: leadership and support. It's like state government and local government. The father sets the direction, sets the right leadership, and you've advised mothers to be supportive. I think that's a very beautiful one. Comrade Lamte Kporosa Orahi, you have grown your empire. One can say that you are not the father of so many people by what you do, especially politically, by conscientizing us in our minds to do the right thing. I want to ask you this. I want you to tell us briefly what you think a good father is. And I want you to zero it down to what is a father's role as a role model in a family, in a society, in a nation. You are muted.
Yes, sorry, boss. Thank you very much, comrade from Sister Remiran. I'm going to start with an illustration. I'm trying to remember this film by Denzel Washington. I can't quite remember the title right now, but in that film, Denzel has a son, and the son at some point was becoming very a bit rude, a bit disrespectful, and all of that, and was misconstruing a lot of things. And at any point, the boy asked the father, he said, "Why don't you love me?" And Denzel came to the boy and asked him, "Who pays the bills in this house?" The boy says, "You." "Who gives you food in this house? Who provides money for food? It's you." "Who takes care of this shelter?" It's you. Virtually everything that the boy needed was provided for by Denzel Washington, his father. And Denzel now asked the boy, "Why do you think I make these provisions?" The boy said, "Because you love me." And Denzel said, "You are the biggest fool in this world. If you think I'm doing it because I love you. I am doing it because it is my responsibility. It's my job to do it. It is my role, it's my duty." That encapsulates the whole idea of what a father is. Either in the family unit, in the society, wherever it is, that is the job. So as a father, the first thing I tell myself is I have a duty to the people I call my children. Whether they are biological, I have biological children. I have other children that are not biological children. We have children in Edo State right now under our program, the Edo Zero Illiteracy Program. As we speak right now, we have just paid fees we have paid fees now since the last 1 week now for more than 20 of them. I don't know them, but I consider them my children. They're in primary school, they're out of school children. We've recruited them, put them in school. It's our duty to not care for them. My duty to them is that these children, within the window of opportunity that we have, must go to school. So we are providing that due diligence because we understand it's a role. We are not doing it because we love. We are doing it because it's a portion that we owe to ourselves and to society. And so when you translate that beyond the family unit, you now go to leadership. A president is the father of a nation. The president must do things because the president must understand that to be a president, there is a duty you owe the people. There's a responsibility you owe the people. The people must not beg for it. It is their right for you to provide that responsibility because that office is bestowed with that authority to provide that responsibility. So because the error we have right now, we make majorly in our society right now is that people occupying different roles appear to be in oblivion, appear to have less understanding of why they are in the position they are occupying. And that is a major problem we are having. And so I think that on this occasion while we celebrate Father's Day, while we make it a celebration, we need to seriously reflect, on it and all of that. So that some people listening to us right now must begin to have a different understanding of what this role is. I'm glad that Dr. Agbons mentioned just now that it comes equally with some benefits. Okay, but the real benefits of being a father, okay, comes not just because you have been able to, have intercourse with a woman and provided children. The real benefit comes when you have been adjudged, by the gods that created you, that you are doing well in your role as a father, either to your family unit or to the society, or both of them. That is when the real benefits come. Otherwise, if you are not doing well, okay, you are not entitled to any benefits, whether of respect or whatever it is. And so I think that we need to have this understanding. So even those people who are intending to be fathers must understand that this is not just in name, but it's in duty, it's in diligence, it's in responsibility. On that note, I want to say a very big thank you to Maswe Ogu for the stars you are sending to us on the Comrade Show. God bless you. Over to you, pharmacist.
Thank you so much, CNC. You have really anchored it in a very good place. You went back again to the issue that Loretta started with, that fatherhood is not for mouth, it's indeed a responsibility. And when you deliver that responsibility very well, the benefit is indeed enormous. Our viewers, is still the Comrade Show, and we are looking at the fatherhood and the duties of a good father on this celebration of Father's Day 2022. Pick up the phone and give us a ring. The people want to hear your views of what you think fatherhood and being a good father should be. Dr. Loretta,
Yes.
I'm coming straight to you.
Yes.
I want you to look at this. You've said so many beautiful things about your dad. I've read your books over and over again, and I see that you bring a good radiation of what your father was to you and what he continues to do for society, even though he's no longer here. But I want to ask a question. Some men are carried away. I am in that category as well. Fortunately, I have a daughter. There seems to be this strong relationship between father and daughter. And sometimes some fathers end up even spoiling the girl child at the detriment of the society. It seems that that is not your case. But what advice will you give to parents, especially fathers, on their relationship with their girl child? Because it's very important. Even when the child is growing up and is beginning to be on menstrual cycle, I used to have a very good friend who told me that the mother never taught her anything about cooking and anything about menstrual period coming. It was the father that taught her, and she understood better. So as you answer that question, I also want you to look at it. Side chick is not a sin. Why are you saying that men should not look after their side chick? Can you just talk to the people on these issues?
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Remira. I love your two questions and I've written them down. But just before I answer them, I want to quickly say something about what the CNC said, Comrade Lamte Bonsariahi. When he said that fatherhood is a duty and it's not necessarily because of love, I want to disagree. I beg to disagree. It's a combination of everything. You cannot mechanically do a duty that you do not love. It doesn't come out right. There must be an element of love within you doing your duty. And I actually think that you meant to say that. I don't think it can be devoid of the other. And if you look at our nations and our countries, our local government, even if you are a principal or you are the lead in an organization, the more you love that organization, the more you love the people, the more you mentor them, the more you put into it. However, the critical question is, how were today's fathers mentored? Because the truth is, you cannot give what you don't have. Even if you are a state governor, you're a president, you're a principal, whatever you are, it is the deposit of love in you that you are going to have huge enough to be able to issue out checks. And it's in my book. Look, if you do not have love in your reservoir, if you do not have that mentoring capacity in your reservoir, if you were not raised with it, if you did not understand it, then you have no checks to issue out. So the duty of fatherhood comes laced with love. You can't separate it. It's the same thing with motherhood. Going into your question, Austin, you see, there's what you call Oedipus complex, which people refer to. They say most times that, oh, fathers will love their daughters and mothers will love their son and all of that. The truth is that as parents, you should love all your children equally. However, there's something I've found, and I mentioned it before. Different people respond at different rates to different stimuli. So some children may respond, and your girl, I think you have a caller.
We have a call.
I will answer
Hello.
your question.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yes, Apostle Ambassador Alfred Ondio Inosa is my name.
Okay, Apostle. How are you, sir?
I am very fine, sir. Good evening, sir.
Go ahead. I want to presume you want to talk to us on the comedy show.
Yes. I want to quickly appreciate everyone on this platform tonight. And it is time we begin to say it the way it is. Talk out as it may be. Therefore, truth, there's perfect. What is not good is bad. So, concerning 2023 election, I don't put lies. Look everything. They don't pass party level. We don't pass the stage of party level now, but rather who ready to work for the interests of the people, irrespective of their political affiliation. Yes, I don't look APC, I look PDP, I look Labour. The question why I got to ask between these three people who want to represent us. Now, who truly ready to take change the negative narrative in my governance? Now, let Peter Obi Adosi, without sentiment. Now, let Peter Obi, me, Apostle Alfred, don't see without sentiment. And it is very, very appalling. And I will appeal to our people. Those people who want support Peter Obi, let them not insult people who don't support them. There is no point for insult. Make them just make their point. Make them measure out the reason why when they want me to vote for Peter Obi. But for me, I don't make up my mind without fear of favor, without sentiment. Now let Peter Obi and Dawson say he ready to take change the negative narrative about governance in Nigeria. And I can't look Peter Obi lifestyle and the government of Babaki lifestyle. Two of them, they share the same thing in common. Two of them get the same perspective. Two of them, I don't check them side by side. Now they good. If the ready government Babaki represent, like Peter Obi represent, so we will need a person like Peter Obi in governance to help change the negative narrative. And if the people come together with compulsion, I believe it is going to be a win-win and it's going to be a big fight for APC and the PDP. So now, Tony, I want to talk at this evening. Well done.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Apostle Inosa. We only gave you that time because you were obediently obedient. We've not come to that stage yet. We're still talking about fatherhood. But thank you for calling in, and thank you for what you've said. If you give us another 10 to 20 minutes, we shall be talking more about politics. But we are still on fatherhood and the duty of fathers. Dr. Loretta, you were on your feet.
Fatherhood can be likened to governance. Fatherhood, if you want to say, is selflessness. And true governance that has value for human life is selflessness. So you cannot quite separate the two. But honing in on how fathers and some men get carried away by their daughters, what I was saying is this, that when you sow a seed, some people receive it, others don't. Most times you find that there are times when that little apostle at your feet, that little disciple and apprentice imbibes everything, and that gladdens your heart. Okay. But I don't really think that you should focus on just one child to the detriment of others. What we are saying is a kind of selflessness where you share yourself You try. It's difficult, but try to be making it equal for everybody. But whether everybody will imbibe it at the same rate is something that I cannot say for sure happens. So also, when you are raising your girl child and you are making them have self-esteem, it's not necessarily spoiling them. Let's get this right. And I tell people, my father raised me to interrogate him and to interrogate processes. That was not necessarily rebellion. No, he taught me how to ask questions, how to ask why. But unfortunately, in our society, that is seen as rebellion.
You want to take this call?
Yeah, let's take the call, please. Sorry about this, Dr. Loretta.
No, it's fine. I'll go on to your side chick question.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Pastor Edison
Pastor Edison from where, sir?
from London.
From London. Go ahead, sir.
I want to thank you for in such a day like this for such topic. I just came in and I met Dr. Loretta Deposit. But I want to let people know what I know about fatherhood. I make definition about fatherhood. A father is a pastor or a shepherd who God has put in charge to lead his house or family according to God's will. I want to make you a father, either by having a biological children or spiritual children or by adoption. Now, if you look at this scripturally, a man has always been the head of a woman. Spiritually and physically, a man has always been head of a woman. And father will come with responsibility. And if you cannot be able to manage your house, how can you manage outside? I only listen to Comrade Latin when you were talking about the gesture people are doing in Benin. That is because you have been able to manage your house and you felt that I should affect society. If you don't have love, there is no way you can affect society. I can say today, in our family, we are affecting over 200 children in our community. In Edo State, we are the only person that have a free school that accommodate 200 children, you give them lunch and breakfast. That is as a result because we have been able to affect our heart, and this is as a result. My father was able to.
Pastor Edison, sorry, sir. You have just 20 seconds left.
Okay, my father was able to impart in us, and that same legacy my father has imparted in us, we carry it out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Over to you.
The pastor made a very sound point. And I said that before. If you do not have a reservoir of love within you, irrespective of what level you are operating at, you cannot issue out checks of love. And when you don't have checks of love to issue out, you don't have value for human life. You don't maintain relationships. There's something absolutely wrong. And that is why we should be careful how we raise our children today. That is why we must understand the concept of fatherhood. Because whether we like it or not, the children around us, the mentees around us, we are their first examples. And fatherhood is that kind of job or that kind of thing you do where there is no written manual.
Yeah, network.
Need to look for.
Have we lost Loretta?
Yeah, the network.
You can just take over. I think
Thank you so much. I think Loretta was making a very fantastic point. Dr. Tony Agbons, I'll be coming to you. I know you are a very cerebral and a very good Christian. I would like you to look at some spiritual input
Can you hear me?
into fatherhood on this issue, Dr. Tony Agbons. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You know, like it's always said, there's this popular verse they always quote that a father that cannot look after the family can be considered or be described as an infidel.
It's worse.
Some people have looked at it only from the financial aspect. But like what Pastor Edison said, like it's always said, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. And I think when you don't have this in abundance, sometimes you can't really be a father. So, and some fathers too, in our local palace, we say they talk anyhow. And such words can be very influential in what becomes of their children. So while you answer this question, can you look at it? Is there a spiritual connotation to this as we begin to disseminate that responsibility of a father? Dr. Tony.
Yeah, I think we all know that as humans, we are a tripod of a being. So we have a body, we have a soul, and we have a spirit. I don't want to delve into the world of the metaphysical, but we all know this. And that is why, as we are here now, the three are working, body, soul, and spirit. And then when one dies, you find out that the body will be there. We are told that the soul goes back to its maker, and the spirit as well, goes back to from thence it came. So that is why we say, okay, lying is state and the body is gone. Anyway, that aside, when we look at fatherhood from the spiritual side, like I said in church today, I was leading service in church today, and I said it very critically. The greatest example for us is our Heavenly Father, Osanudazi, Nakbama, Noko Dudu, Osano Yagbon Kiweimi. What I've said is that we're talking of Nole. I'm talking of God Almighty, the all-powerful, omnipresent, omniscience God, the one that created the entire universe. He is a father full of responsibility. He's a father that neither sleeps nor slumber. So as a father, I just want to say this to all of us who are fathers. And when we use the word father, I think like Dr. Loita clearly established, I'm not talking of somebody who have had sex with a woman or his wife and they have children. That is not it. If you are a mentor, you are a father. For somebody like me, let me use myself as an example. My dad passed away when I was very young, So, but I had a lot of father figures around me, people who stood in that gap. And a lot of them till today, I call them and I will say, "Oh, call daddy, daddy will be right." But not as if they actually gave birth to me. No, but some of these people played very huge roles in what I have become today. So it goes beyond just mainly just having children biologically. So, and this responsibility we must tie it to whether there is money or there is no money. There's a lot of wisdom with fatherhood. And I always say this, as a father, you need to keep doing research. You see, when you have children, they are very young, maybe 6, 7, 8. You need to know, you find out what are the characteristics and attributes of children at that age. And when they become teenagers, it's a new ball game. Whether it's a teenage, your child who is a boy or a girl, it's a different thing. You have to study, you have to ask questions, relate with people, so that we guide our children aright. Because, like I said earlier, and I think some of us have said in this studio today, a nation with a good family is a nation that is strong at the top. So most of the societal problems we have today is as a result of the failures of fathers and mothers. But because we are focusing on fathers today, I will say that as fathers, we have a huge role to play to become role models to our children. And like we have all established, it's a kind of governance, and we have to do it properly.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Abbott. Loretta, we lost you slightly. I am still very interested. Can you just take a minute to talk about the issue of side chick and fatherhood and love?
I will. For my sister Rembrandt, you did not lose me. My network went AWOL.
I'm very sorry.
I can't be lost. I'm
sorry.
Out. So I was saying that rounding off, we should raise our sons to be accommodating of the strong women that we are raising our daughters to be as well. If not, you're going to have a crop of women who will not find the men that can stand them either physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and otherwise, because fathers have done a proper duty as have mothers. So importantly, you must raise all your children at the same time. Don't spoil anyone. Okay, just you know, we all know what is right. You know when it's getting a bit too much. There were times that if I asked for things, my father would say, "No, you can't have it," and he means it. And I know when he means it. So there are two different dichotomies that must be drawn. Now, going on to the issue of side chicks, I'm not here to judge whether side chicks are good or they are bad. No, I'm not here. I'm not the judge. I'm not God. Now, I want to ask two questions. The first one is, you say you are a father, you say you are a man, you have a side chick that you have been sleeping with. I knew somebody like that. You have a side chick that you've been sleeping with, you're a multi-millionaire, and the girl is still trekking. Omo, they need to examine you. You're a demon. In your house, you say you're a man, you say you're a father. Your wife is begging you for money to go and do her hair, but you gave side chick 500,000 yesterday. You are a demon. So what am I trying to say? In all of this, side chick, non-side chick, the woman in your house, whatever it is, you owe yourself that responsibility of love, first and foremost, whatever names or appellations you give to anybody. And you must exercise that love even when you are not being seen. So when you are in your home, when you're in your room by yourself, what exactly is in your heart? Is it the heart of nurturing or the heart of taking, and using? Are you using your children? Are you using your wife? Are you using your friends, your employees, your mentees, the people around you? Are you exploiting them? That's the question. Because if you are not, if you are giving of yourself, you are giving of your time, you're giving of your spirituality, you are giving of your knowledge, your emotion, you're giving of everything, then you are beginning to exhibit and exercise the true meaning of fatherhood.
Thank you so much, Loretta. You are touching loads of quarters. You are not interested whether it's side chick, side babe, woman with the house. All you are interested in is that take responsibility. And whoever you associate with, make sure the person is well looked after, is cared for. Thank you so much, Loretta. 2022, take responsibility. Whether side chick, wife, girlfriend, it doesn't matter. It comes back again to that word responsibility. Lamte Pausaraki, I want you to look at this. Should a man become a non-entity because love is not shown to him? Because sometimes we could be isolated. People just forget about us. It's only we that we do and do. Is that a reason for you to lose your responsibility as a man because you are not being shown love to, or you are not being cared for? The children are not looking after you. Your wife is not looking after you. I want you to look at that aspect as we round up on this big topic, Comrade Lamte.
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Iremira. Actually, whatever question you were going to ask me, I was going to start actually from this. When Dr. Loretta was speaking just now, she did make a bold statement that we cannot separate love from, following from the explanation I tried to give on Denzel Washington's film. Let's make something very clear. Love is fundamental, is base. It's on the baseline. It's basic. Whether you are a responsible father, you are not a responsible father, the tendency for you to love your offspring is very high. Okay? If you don't love your offspring, there probably may be associated with some sort of mental health issues. Okay? And all of that. But you can actually love your family and be a failing father. But yet you can have issues with your family, that could challenge where love again becomes very subjective, the way anybody want to define it. You understand what I'm saying now? Just like Osiremera has put it just now. But yet you know that you owe it a duty. Okay? You owe it a responsibility to do what you have to do as a father for your family, or for those you are responsible for. So at the end of the day, it's not really a question of love. It's a question of you, okay, inheriting a role that demands responsibility. Whether there's love or there's no love, I must pay school fees. I must, pay my rent. Whether I'm quarreling with my wife today, or we never talk for 1 week, or we never talk for 1 month, it's a duty that I must run my house. Now, the issue of love, for instance, somebody becomes the president of Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari, for instance, clearly has shown to the world that he does not love the Igbos. I make bold to say that because of some interviews I've watched, and it shows that tendency of maybe he doesn't really have so much love for the Igbos. But the truth of the matter is that where he may be failing is that whether he loves Igbos or he loves Yoruba or he doesn't love, there is a duty demanded by his office as president to ensure that security of lives and property is something that every Nigerian should enjoy from what his office should provide. The Igbos are not asking you for your love. Yorubas are not asking. Those are not. Nobody's asking for your love. Now, if you have aspired, to have this job and you are given a job, your duty is to secure the country economically, secure the country, security-wise, secure the country socially, and in every way that is required of that office. Because nobody is going to measure how much love you have for the country as the point of measurement. But people are going to measure how you've been able to dispense your duty and your responsibility. How you've been able to, apply due diligence to your office. And I liken that office of a president or a governor to a father of a nation, father of a state. So at the end of the day, the issue of love is a matter that we can treat separately. Though there probably may be a thin line, but I just want to say that, for instance, I've got children, I've got loads of them. You guys know, I don't want to declare the number. And, earlier today, Austin Iremira called me. We were talking about this Father's Day thing, and he told me, like, comrade, you have so many children, are you still wishing for more? And I told him very clearly, I said, I don't give children, God does. If God says, comrade, more will come, my own duty is to accept them and take care of them. You understand what I'm saying? If I now run out of my own capacity, I'm not going to take care of them again, then I cannot say, God, the way this matter be now, I know I'm going to do my own due diligence to make sure they don't come again. But if I'm still there and I'm a handsome man, a strong man, and and they are coming, and the children love to come, who am I to say no to God Almighty who is bringing them? You understand what I'm saying now?
I'm really sorry.
Anyway, that's just for the jokes. That the one are not taking me serious on that matter. I think
this table where you want shake, so comrade.
I don't want shake.
I'm really sorry.
This table where you want shake, so.
No, comrade, sorry. I'm really sorry.
That's a joke.
Protocol, yeah. But let me tell you something. When you were talking just now, I could just decipher that you were beginning to go into the zones of professionalism and the disbursement of one's duty versus father.
No, Dr. Loretta, that was the instruction. That was the explanation I started with.
I know, but
that as a father, love is on one side, first and foremost. It's basic.
In professionalism,
but you have a duty.
In professionalism, you do your duty. It's not about, for instance, if someone, I don't know my enemies, but they know themselves. So if someone who had judged themselves my enemy collapsed on the floor and I was the only one there, I have to resuscitate that person, except that person has signed a do not attempt resuscitation form. Professionally, I have to do that. And I will do it. It takes nothing from me. However, look at it this way. However, if it was an elective procedure and such a person came to me, I would then say conflict of interest. I cannot treat that person. So you see, allowances have been made, even for what you are saying.
Can we take this call?
Yeah, let's take that call. I hope it's going to be on the subject matter.
Yes. I hope so. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good evening to you all.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm Peter Osaigi, calling from Central African Republic.
Go ahead and speak a bit louder, sir. You have about 90 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I just want to have a comment on this institution called a father. And I'll just say happy Father Day to everybody there, and a happy Father Day for me.
Happy Father's Day.
Now, what really needs to be a father? As has been said, it is not just because you are biological father to somebody who was a father. I want to start an instance when my father was still alive. my father was, heading a very small area, and every morning he wake up before he go to farm wherever he wants to go. He visits every household in that area. Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, he wake up. Everything he's going to go to the farm today, he's going to do his activities today. He's going to knock in every door to make sure he wake everybody to ask, how are they doing? And that is a responsibility. I wouldn't say it's a collective responsibility because it's like a crime. Being a man, being a human being, he has made to be responsible to some situation. As a man, and to become a man, it's not because this child is your child or it's not a child. And if you relate that to the presidency, as you are about to state, he's supposed to be a father of all, and he's also supposed to have one or two that is hated among the children. Hate should be totally eliminated when you are a father. To become a father, it's not because you have a political children. Everybody is supposed to be with you, and everybody is supposed to take everybody along. And what is really father now? It is not an issue of maybe, I can start an instance again. I went to the time I was on leave. I went to drop the children in the school and have the children, a baby came out, cried out of the class, and they are driving the child away, and they go to do the examination. At that time, I have no money to pay the school fees, and the school is trying to ask the child to go away. I asked, how much does this cost? I took the responsibility of the father there. And that guy calls me, father, each time I go home, and say, this is my dad. But what am I trying to say? I'm not really a biological father. I took up the responsibility of what I would have done to my child, and I saw somebody who is in need of it, and I did it, and I did the child the exam, and eventually came out with the tricolor. His father has a lot of responsibility, and that love.
Oga, you have just 5 seconds left. If you can round off your point, sir.
Okay, there's no reason why love will not be attached to any man to become a father. As a doctor, our doctor said, the lady doctor there, of course, whether it's a concubine, whatever you call it, a side chick, but you must take your responsibility as a man, and that was making you a father. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Very good point. Well made.
Yeah, Comrade Lamte, can you quickly round up? You were on your feet.
Okay, yes. I think the point I was making, I don't want us to misconstrue it. I am not the issue of love. I mean, for instance, when I do what I'm doing, I am not looking at love. I'm looking at the duty. I'm looking at the responsibility. You understand the picture I'm saying? I am not. For instance, we've got children right now in Edo State, out of school. I don't know them. I've not even met any of them. Okay? And I am working very hard. My resources is going to Edo State regularly. I'm asking people to support the project regularly for children I don't know, and many more we are going to admit into the program and all of that. It is not really about the children as such. It's about the need for us to be responsible to something. You understand what I'm saying now? And that is very key as far as I'm concerned. So I think, and when we are doing our due diligence, we are trying to do what we have to do. We are not looking at love as an influential part of this, really, but we are looking at, when I describe the thing, I don't know how to separate it. Sorry, let me just quickly clear that one. On the issue of, because people already making comments, say I want to get many children. More than no, that this is our personal matter. I can have as many as I want to, but I'm not actually. I'm already having many now. I have a lot of children in Edo State right now. I'm looking for more out of school children to admit into the fold. So long as God keeps bringing them, we keep admitting them and taking care of them.
Yeah, because
Thank you, Comrade.
It's not just biological we are talking about.
Not just biological, my brother.
Thank you, Comrade Lamte. I think today's topic is very unique.
Another caller. You have another caller.
Oh.
Let the people we hear their opinions too now. Hello. Hello.
Yep, hello.
Yes. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good evening, sir. My name is Okadiko. I'm calling from Yokohama, Japan.
Go ahead, sir.
My name is Okadiko. I'm calling from Yokohama, Japan.
Yokohama, Japan. Go ahead, sir.
Right. I greet you, all of you, and I greet also, I salute our sister Loretta Oduwer. You are doing a wonderful job. Can I suggest something? Can I say something, sir?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. The other day, I have spoken with you in regards of the vigilantes, how to energize them on the issue of security in Edosse. And then we have discussed, I have put down some points, the comrades over there on the ground, how to energize them also.
Okay, Okadigo, you know what you're going to do? Sorry, sir. Could you call us back after this program? Maybe in another 1 hour. We'll be able to take your call and have a detailed discussion with you because we are having a different topic that we are treating right now, live.
Okay, because I am on duty, that's why.
That's what I said. Basically, call us back in about half an hour, and we can talk this privately.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I must thank Mr. Okadibo calling all the way from the other side, Yokohama, Japan. We have to speak with him again. He's a regular caller on our show.
Caller from the other
like
side.
I was saying, this topic is very important. Maybe in the weeks and days and months ahead, we shall be talking about it, but we just wanted to have an overview. And I must commend all three of you because we've really, to the best of our ability, dissected this. And I think our viewers have been so much involved, thanks to those that have called in. I can see many people are more interested in the politics. I can see the name of Obibi mentioned on the comment section. We shall be talking about politics later in the next few minutes. But just before we round up, and on this topic, I'm going to give our comrade just to say a few things as we round up. Dr. Loretta, you are going to talk last. Just your comment. I know you want to leave us soon because you have another very important assignment to deal with. Dr. Tony Abbott, what will be, for now, your final advice on this issue of Father's Day and fatherhood?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just 3 words. Let's be compassionate, let's be responsible, and let's be wise. That is my advice to all fathers.
Thank you so much. Let's be compassionate, let's be responsible, and let's be wise. Dr. Tony Abbott, 2022. Comrade, just in a statement, what will be your final, what will you have to say on this issue? Just a sentence.
I think my own is, let's have more understanding of what our roles are, as fathers. And let's fully understand that it transcends, what we actually do in our bedrooms with our children. And let's allow everything we do in our family translates into what happens in the society. If we have that understanding, then we nail it.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamte. Understanding and responsibility is the key word for every man that wants to be a good father. Thank you so much, Comrade Lamte, for that. Just before I allow Dr. Loretta to go and to have the final word, I just want to say something. Father is spelled F-A-T-H-E-R. On that note, I think the F means that you have to be faithful. A father must have some form of action. T, you have to be tactful. Tactfulness in leading your family. H, you need to have and give a helping hand always. E, for encouragement. And the final word, R, for responsibility. Dr. Loretta, can you take the floor? Give us your final words before you jet out for another meeting. Thank you so much.
Augustine Iremira, you are not only a pharmacist. I see that you have poetry in you. I thought it was just Tony and the comrade, but you've just said
it don't take over.
Yes, it's just taking over. Yeah. That was really good. I think we should record that later, comrades, and just give me that clip, please. I want that clip on fatherhood that Austin has just done. Well, rounding up, I want to say that I just want to ask us out there a question. Understanding that the family is the unit of every society, I want us to ask ourselves, am I the kind of father, am I the kind of man that I wish to see my own daughter get married to? And then, wives, are you asking yourself, is my husband the kind of husband I want to see his daughters get married to? These are questions that when we begin to ask them, we are going to find that we reflect a lot more. Am I the kind of brother I want somebody else out there to have? And am I the kind of son that I would want to be to someone else? These are questions that when we ask them and we reflect on them, it's going to give us answers that make sure we understand how our shared humanity,
Do you want to take this call on?
No, Loretta.
we understand how our shared humanity is the true religion, because that's what the comrade is saying. You cannot remove the shared humanity. You can't remove love from it. Even though you want to be mechanical, you just can't. And let us all go out there. That Ubuntu concept, I think that just sums up everything. I am because you are because I am. The fathers are because the mothers are because the fathers are, the children are because the father is, or the fathers are, and the nations are because the family units are. There's no need you being a father. Even though you fathered the child with a mad woman on the street, you are not paying school fees, you're not taking care of that child or the woman. You come home, there's no succor when your children see you. I don't think that is what my father lived for. And believe you me, I am and I remain my father's daughter.
Thank you so much, Dr. Loretta Boroko. We are ending on a very fantastic note on this very important topic of fatherhood and how it affects a nation. Dr. Loretta Boroko, 2022. What you will not like, do not give to others. Would you like to be married to a man that is like you? Would you like your daughter to be married to a man that is like you? Or would you like your daughter to be married to a man that is not like you? So inner retrospect is very important. And above all, in conclusion, she has said, you cannot give what you don't have. Thank you so much, Dr. Loretta, for finding time to be with us. I wish you all the best as you go on to the next event you have lined up. Thank you for joining us today. So our viewers, my people out there, we've been looking at fatherhood and Father's Day because today is Father's Day. For the next 20 to 30 minutes, we'll be looking at about issues affecting or happening in our society. I mean, the meat and the politics of today. Only yesterday, Ekiti election was concluded, and I think winners have been declared. Mr. Biodu Oyebanji of the All Progressive Congress, APC, has been declared winner with a total vote of 187,051. Segun Oni of SDP came as runners up with a total vote of 82,211. And BC Kolawole of PDP clinched or came a distant third with a total of 67,457 votes. Though this election can be said to be peaceful, looking at the microscopic eyes and the inner doings that took place, our election has gone to another level. We only saw the delegalization that led to dollarization some few weeks ago. This one has gone to another level. Although it was not just only dollars that were on show, naira too were on show, to even as little as 500 naira. To our comrade, which way Nigeria? 2023 is just around the corner. Dr. Tony Agbons, what do you have to say concerning the recently concluded Ekiti election where a winner has been declared? How do you see it?
My brother, I'm sure Comrade has a clip that we may see of cases of vote buying yesterday during the Ekiti state election. The case of Nigeria has just become one of the more you look, the less you see. We are thinking that our election by now things will be improving with the introduction of electronics and technology, electronic voting. the snatching of ballot boxes and all that has stopped. But what we now see at polling centers, where people will just be sharing 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira, 2,000 naira to a population that have been dehumanized, a population that have been beaten blue and black, and they just go and share money to them, and they say you come and show me evidence, or no worry, just give me your PVC. So it is looking at some of the videos, live videos from Ekiti State yesterday. This is a state that pride themselves as the knowledge fountain of the nation, and that was just happening. In fact, I shook my head, and I saw a poster somebody posted in a WhatsApp group I belong to. I just want to read that poster because it captures very briefly what this election yesterday was about. This is from Simi, popular Nigerian musician, and she wrote, "They keep you poor so that they can use your poverty to distract you from your freedom." My brother, I have seen a, a poster online of a man that was in a kind of a prison, okay, barricaded, and there was bread and there was a key. All the man needed to take was to take the key, unlock the prison door, and walk out free. But he went for the bread. That describe what is happening in Nigeria today. I think the mass of our population are so have been so impoverished. They are so poor. There's uh, poverty. These politicians are using it now as a tool, you know, to buy people's vote. It was a real shame. And you see now, I've not even congratulated the winner of the election, because people shouldn't be buying vote at this time. This is 2022, for God's sake. We are not in 1935. It is such a shame seeing those videos yesterday. I'm sure we have some that will play to our viewers to see. It doesn't just look like we are talking. It's annoying. And it's just to show us what these people are planning for 2023. But they will not succeed by the grace of God and by the might of people power.
Thank you, Dr. Tony Agbons. It is indeed sad. A man in prison. There is a key of the prison gate and a bread. What would you expect? And in an ideal situation, you should run, get the key, and open the prison gate. But this man went for the bread. That is very touching. Tony Agbons, that analogy you gave actually captured the mood and the current reality. 2023 election is a serious matter. 2022 Ekiti election has just been concluded. Winners announced, done and dusted. Comrade Ipawonsa, given the situation at the moment, which way Nigeria?
I'm just trying to, try to situate this particular Ekiti election and look at it from a perspective, not just on what we see, from the face value of it, but looking at it from angles that are a bit more in depth. First, I like to say that yet again, Ekiti election was another rape of democracy. However, I like to say that there's some hope. There's some hope is that we are gradually, getting over the idea that some people can just go and sit somewhere and write results and present. So I rather would describe Ekiti State to be an election that was free but unfair. Free because the votes counted. Unfair because the votes were bought. And so the previous culture we had, where some politicians would just sit somewhere and present the result to INEC to say this is not the result will come out from so and so unit and that, and they just write it in their own houses. I think we have gradually passed that stage now, which means that the state we are right now is a stage of hope. That if we can get past the era where politicians can no longer write results for us, they are not depending on amassing so much money to buy the people over, then because as I look at the sequence of events of Ekiti, I was monitoring the process. I wasn't looking at Ekiti State. I was looking at 2023 presidential elections vis-a-vis our own candidate Peter Gregory Obi and what may likely happen in 2023. So I saw Ekiti probably as a footnote, a test ground, because what you saw from Ekiti is not different from what you saw in the delegate primaries held by APC and PDP. So which means that we can easily just deduce that the strategy for PDP and APC to want to win the election of 2023 was to amass so much money in trillions of naira to buy the people with PVCs. So when they look at it, they probably calculate that, okay, the last election, we had probably around 30 million voters. And so if we can budget 20,000 naira for 30 million voters or 40 million voters, they will probably may get presidency and all of that. Now, that gives us a role, those of us that are independent, who want good governance, okay, to now start proper sensitization. We did it in Edo State. There was high vote buying in Edo State. But before the election, the electorate in Edo State with their PVCs already knew. We had conscientized them to understand that it is their right and duty to collect the monies given to them by politicians. But it is equally their duty to vote for the candidate of their choice. And so we were here. We had an election day live broadcast where people will collect money from PDP agents and vote for APC agents, and collect money from the APC agents and vote for PDP agents. So we even collect money from multiple persons. But they are the ones that have the final decision to place their thumbprint on that particular ballot paper for the candidate they want to vote for. So I think while this one is happening right now, as bad as it is probably okay. It gives us an idea that we have something we need to do. And if we do it well, what it's going to mean is that APC is going to come with their trillions of naira. PDP will come with their trillions of naira. Nigerians will collect this money and vote for Peter Obi. And the politicians will go bankrupt, having spent so much money and not winning the seat of power. So I think what it does is for us to intensify effort at educating the people, the masses, as much as possible. And it must be the duty of everybody right now that has been, become obedient, and many more that will become obedient, to understand that. Because, my brother, the reason why I'm saying is that by the time we get the presidency right, everything about Peter Gregory Obi as a president of Nigeria will trickle down from the top to the bottom. And what that does is that immediately the man sets foot in office and begin to dispense governance as far as presidency is concerned, the nation will start moderating itself. We start looking at the lines, the lanes and the laws and everything set by this president. And my brother, I tell you that the presidency of Peter Obi will even set APC and PDP aright. It will baptize them and make them reborn. Because at the end of the day, that's exactly what we need. But if we miss it, another 7 years into this backwardness, my brother, we may never recover from it. Right now, we are on the very edge of the precipice. It is so bad, but it is not too bad for us to start solving from 2023 when Peter Obi becomes elected as president. But if we miss it, there may be no return after 7 years.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbon and Comrade Latte Osariaki. Sorry about that. You have said that even with what has happened now and with the event in Ekiti, you think and you are encouraging us not to be forlorn. Let us remain focused. The issue at the moment is to conscientize and continue to conscientize. Thank you so much for that ray of hope, because with the intro, one was really surprised and down. Now, Dr. Tony Agbon, apart from this new system we can see, I don't know the exact population of Ekiti, but I know they should be oscillating between 3 to 5 million. And if you look at the total vote for these three parties, by my reckoning is just, say, about 300,000. So if Ekiti has a population of 3 million, we are looking at about 10%. And if we give the victory to Biodu Oyebanji, who has about 187 votes, it means that it's about less than between 4 and 5% of the total population that voted. To me, that's a clear voter apathy. And I think when people don't come out en masse to vote, they give room for some form of manipulation. So I want you to speak on that. And I also want you to look at this. Apart from the people, what can the regulatory body, INEC, in this regard, do to at least stem this issue of this new form of voting system in our polity?
Thank you very much, my brother. As you were speaking, I was just trying to, play with the figures of Ekiti State. And just like Comrade Lamte Ponsari said, this Ekiti election is something we are going to dissect, we're going to analyze, we're going to evaluate, and we're going to use as a template for the Peter Gregory Obi victory, obediently.
Just before you answer, I want to ask you a question. Is there any midterm governorship election happening before February next year?
I think there's one more. There's one more state. We'll find out. I will check it. So the population of Ekiti as at 2016 is about 3.3 million people. And from what you have said, if you add all the number of votes for this election, it's about 300,000. That means about 9% of the population of Ekiti actually voted for this election. And this is where the APC and the PDP, they are going to get a shock. There was apathy in Ekiti, just like what happened in Anambra. The vote that got Charles Chukwuma Soludo in, I think, was about 120,000. But in this presidential election, this is what people are not getting. Nigerians are coming out to vote. This is not going to be business as usual. Because like Comrade said just now, if we get it right at the presidency, my brother, leadership, I've always said, that word leadership means leadership. Leadership. We've never got it right in Nigeria. We've never. So once we get it right, and I know Nigerians are really eager with the level of obedience all across the land, north, west, east, and south. People are coming out to vote massively when it comes to the presidential election. I in some WhatsApp group I belong, people were like, they were laughing this morning and saying, "Oh, why didn't the Labour Party win Ekiti?" I'm just like, these people they are not calculating their buttons at all. Because if they were calculating their buttons, they would know that, look, Nigerians are preparing for this presidential election in about 8 months' time. It has been done before. It happened in Anambra, it happened in Edo, which is a template. The people are ready. Nigerians are ready. Because we cannot have another 7-8 years like this. The question I've always been asking people is that if you like, because people are talking, oh, our party need to be in power. I say, look, the way our country, Nigeria, is, if you like it the way it is now, good luck to you. But if you don't, we need to look another way. We need to try somebody else. And for God's sake, like I was trying to educate some people yesterday, and they did agree with me. I said, Obi, he tried to do this on the platform of the PDP, but he couldn't. The powers that be, the monetization and all that, and then he took the strategic decision to go to another vehicle to actualize his vision for the country. And that is where we are, and we are saying that we are all obedient, and on Peter Obi we stand. There's no gainsaying. A lot of us have thrown our heart in, and we are there. So what we keep saying is that Nigerians, go get your PVC. Please go and get your PVC, your permanent voters card. Registration is still on. Go to the nearest INEC office in your local government, in your ward. If you don't know, ask. We will tell you. Go and get your PV. That card is your power. Let us not sit down and just be looking. We can make it. Yes, we can.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. We can make it. Yes, we can. Our viewers is still the Comrade Show, the Comrade and Friends. Our lines are open. We are talking politics. 2023 beacons. Pick up your phone and ring in. Let us hear from you. Dr. Tony Abbas, I come back to you again. I was asking, can INEC do anything in this new trend?
Yes, INEC, to be honest, like Comrade Oriahi said, you can see some semblance of decency. The election was relatively peaceful. It was like I like the way Comrade coined it. It was free but unfair. So I think kudos to INEC. They are doing their best and they are really using technology, and which is good. And that has reduced cases of ballot box snatching. But INEC need to do more because they have been complaining of lack of registration machines in some parts of the country. This shouldn't be. There should be more than enough machine because INEC as an organization, I know that billions of naira has been budgeted for them. So the machine should be available. People should not be disenfranchised because they cannot get their PVC. So INEC still has a lot to do. They are doing well, but they need to do more. Yes, that's the video we're talking about in Ekiti yesterday. People were giving money. So those young ladies were just flashing their money and putting it on social media. Back to you, Pharmacist Iramira.
Very shameful. It reminds me of those Obito days where you see people flashing money. That has become our election. We are still talking 2023, talking OB emergence, talking about PVC sensitization, and the recent outburst by a supposedly man of God, an ordained Catholic priest, saying that OB is absolutely stingy, and stingy men are not welcome in heaven. On that note, he thinks Peter Obi will not become president if he doesn't come to the adoration center to get purified and begin to dollarize the ground. I am a Catholic. I am absolutely miffed, and I'm surprised that we've allowed the rhetorics of Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka to continue, and that is sending the wrong signal. In fact, by his outburst, he has just encouraged what has happened in Ekiti. This must be condemned. Stingy men are better because they use their money for the development, emancipation, growth, and good governance of their people. Comrade Lante, you are obediently obedient. Is your OB a stingy man? What do you have to say?
To be honest, I think events have bypassed this particular matter, because at the end of the day, I'm not even comfortable discussing Mbaka's utterances anymore, because somehow the Benin man says, if now you back one of the things will say, what did they say they do? Okba, can somebody help me? What is Okba in
the cock?
The cock.
Yeah,
What they say
the male fowl. If I use cock now, people will be thinking of that thing. So.
What they say they do one bad.
Yeah.
Turn to a good.
Come beautify.
So away a bena we not de yauru, we not do de waoa.
Yes.
As the paper when they say the leaf when they say make it be fall, make it cover, it can't fall, it can't open face. I think that's exactly what played out. And I mean, right now, Obakas is the one who's going to be struggling for relevance. And what he tried to do to bring down Peter Obi, turned out to be in his favor. And right now, the evidence of it abound that, Nigeria right now needs people that are as stingy as Peter Obi. But I don't know how else you can describe it, that a man whom according to, Bianca Ojuku's account, of her first-hand experience with this man, was given the offer of wearing a $3,000 suit, but the man opted for a $200 suit, while the balance of that $3,000 should be given to pay fees for the children of widows, for this and for that. I mean, If that stinginess is a good one for Nigeria, do you want to take this call?
Yes, please, let's take it.
Hello. Yeah, hello. Please speak louder. What's your name and where are you calling from? What's your name? Can you reduce your other device, please?
What's his name, please, and where is he calling from?
Can you reduce the other device? You are playing another device very close to this phone.
I think you should call back because we are not getting anything, so that this will be discussion needs to flow on.
Yes. So like I was saying, Nigeria has been led by people who have massively, stolen from the country. Very corrupt. Money meant for roads, infrastructure, and everything. They've taken all of them from the people and all of that. Those are people that. Those are not the kind of people we want to associate ourselves with right now. So the selfishness of Obi is hello. Yes, sir. Could you speak louder, please? What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, speaking commercial.
Yes. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, thank you so much. I'm calling you from US, New York to be precise.
So what's your name, sir?
Theophilus.
You think I'm Obi? That's why you think the name well.
No, not think
No fear, no, you no fear. Nothing they happen. Tell us your name and your surname.
Go ahead, sir.
What I want to contribute about is the aspect of Peter B. Vice VP.
Go ahead.
Hello? I want him to look elsewhere, apart from Kwakwanso. In my own opinion, there are other viable candidates in the north. It's not about Kwakwanso only. It's about the people. If we can really enter into the masses, that is all we need. Like somebody like Sanusi and the Jega and other people. There are other viable candidates there. So we don't want a situation whereby one man will be there. Though it's a very big weight, but remember, when the campaign start properly, we'll be able to penetrate into the masses. That's just the aspect I just want to contribute about. I really love the work you are doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Theophilus. Cheers. Yes. So, like I was saying, looking at the nation, the waste that we have had in this nation, we need somebody who will be selfish to help us plug, these holes where.
Another caller.
Nigeria matter and I'll be matter. Hello.
Let's take it obediently.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Vincent. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Go ahead, Mr. Vincent.
Okay. I said whatever people talk, that one is not my business. I'm going to vote to be by grace of God.
We're in Nigeria. We need to be demographing these things. Please, let's get our question.
Vincent, where are you calling from in Nigeria?
I
Yeah.
said I'm calling from Nigeria.
From where in Nigeria? From Kogi State.
Yeah, which is the.
All right, thank you, Vincent. We have heard you. Let's take another caller.
We need to know for demographic data purposes. We just know people are calling from where.
Okay.
Can you quickly just round up on that topic you were flowing?
I think the point I was making is that Ubaka helped Nigeria. The calls are coming.
We take them.
Hello. Yes, sir. Well done, sir. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Yeah, I'm calling from Manchester.
What's his name?
I'm calling from Manchester.
What's your name?
I actually follow you on Facebook.
What's the name?
Oga, what's your name, sir?
And where are you calling from?
Can you hear me?
We can barely hear you. What's your name? Can you speak louder?
I said my name is Kingsley.
Kingsley from Manchester. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go on, sir.
The thing I want to say about very simple. For those of us who are youth in Nigeria, that have gotten the opportunity to travel out and have seen the Western world, we need to come together in mass to educate the youth in Nigeria what P2B is trying to do. Because there is no two ways about it. I used to tell my friends here in Manchester that there is nowhere people sit in that city. There is nowhere people will sit there. It is never possible. When God is at work, forget about Mbaka and whatever nonsense he's doing. That one is his personal business, because when judgment comes, he will face it.
Oga, you've got about 20 seconds left.
When God is at work, P2B's emergence as the presidency is a symbol of God's hand in Nigeria. That's all.
Thank you very much, sir. A symbol of God's hand in Nigeria. Let's take another caller.
We lost that call there.
Okay, we lost that one. Many calls are coming in.
Yeah,
so, like
can you just quickly close in on your trajectory?
I think the point I wanted to make is that Mbaka opened our eyes more to the fact that it is inevitable right now to have Peter Obi as president of Nigeria in 2023, because we have seen the waste. The Accountant General of the Federation right now is being accused by the EFCC of having embezzled nearly 200 billion naira. What's his name? The Accountant General of Rivers State is being accused of having embezzled nearly over 400 billion naira. In Delta State, a commissioner has been accused, is it the AG2, of having embezzled over a trillion naira. In federal government of Nigeria, under the late Abba Kyari and NNPC, under the watch of President Buhari, we are still looking for $2.5 billion. We never still know where that one passed. So all of these wastes, Peter Obi, with the job he did in Anambra State, can help plug all of these loopholes. So that kind of selfishness will be good for Nigeria. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. What's your name, man? Where are you calling from?
My name is Kehinde.
Go ahead, Kehinde.
I'm calling from Germany.
Okay, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
We need Peter Obi as our president. We are behind him. We are obedient.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's obedient, Kehinde. Thank you so much for calling. So
Yes.
I think that's much I want to deposit so that we can get these things down to Kinoheke.
Thank you so much, Comrade. I think the summary, like they always say, I hope I get this quotation very well. When they say,
you have another caller. It's calling on WhatsApp. I don't know where you want to take.
Yeah, let's take the caller. The more the merrier.
I have something I want to chip in on this thing.
Yeah, I'm coming to you, Dr. Tony and Boss.
I'm itching to say.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Best, calling from Austria.
Mr. Best, go ahead, sir.
Okay, where are you calling from?
Austria.
Should I really prefer Kwakwanso as a vice president to Mr. Peter Obi? So, because when it comes to an issue, so Kwakwanso is more vibrant than the rest people.
Thank you, Best.
Thank you. We got that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Best. He wants Kwakwanso as the advice to Peter
I
Obi.
really like the way Comrade calls that man's name. Kwakwanso. I
Kwakwanso.
love the way you call that name.
Yes, Kwakwanso.
Kwakwanso.
I don't know many numbers, so if I know the call on where, but this one
while we are waiting for that call, Comrade, I think the summary is like they say, when a man's way pleases the Lord, he makes even his enemy to be at peace with him. I think that's the case of Father Mbaka. Dr. Tony, right on from there, please.
Yeah. Okay, a call is coming. We take the call.
Okay, from Africa. Hello. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Very well, sir. Thank you so much. What's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, Mr. Agmos, go ahead, sir.
Calling from Central African Republic. Okay, just to make a quick contribution to this Dutiful issue. It is already known. Everybody will choose him to be our president due to his credentials and what he has presented.
Yeah.
But my fear, I see a big fear here. I don't want this situation to end up in the media, because if the media have to vote with the population, what we have now, the media population, it has won to one and for all. But I want us to take it home. We should take it more than this. And there are some other things we don't need to discuss. We have to have our strategy. I plan to replicate exactly what happened in Guinea. Although this is national, it's involving the whole state. We're not talking about state now, but you still have that charismatic. You people still have it thanks to Comrade Latte, thanks to Dr. Abbas, thanks to Pharmacist Iranian, and a lot of people remember what happened during that election in those states. But you need to do more. Because if you check the media, everybody is saying Peter Obi, Peter Obi. No, we are being aware. So we are determined that this man is going to become our president. But we have to plan and make more strategy, and we should expose a lot of these things.
Thank you very much, sir.
Because we're going to have a lot of dividends for him to become a president, but if you have to guide it and keep our plans, you know that we will be able to battle these people who splash their money and dollars who belong to the country to buy the votes. We can be able to do it.
Thank you very much.
We need to plan.
Thank you, Agbons Aden Kola, for calling in the second time. God bless you, catabolically.
I'm saying I will use the rest one to take. Hello.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Well done, sir. Where are you calling from? From Kenya.
What's his name?
The name?
What's your name, sir?
Hello.
What's your name?
I said my name is Victor. I'm calling from Kenya, Nairobi.
Very well. Mr. Victor, go ahead, sir.
I would like to contribute about this conversation you guys are having concerning this, concerning the B2B camp.
Yes.
Some group of people, like when I go to my DM, I see some guys who are complaining why the Igbos that that's why they're not supporting B2B. People like Mikwe Kweremadu and Dave Umay and all the rest of them. But I want to use this opportunity to speak something briefly to them. PDP, APC are the same group of people. They are the same group of people who decided, the same group of old men who have captured the government, stealing and continue robbing the people of their rights. What I want to encourage them, we should not look at these old men, what they are saying on social media. They will always come with their devilish ideas and stupidity and continue whining and dining with their self, creating enmity among we ourselves, with the young ones and with the masses. Please, I am begging them. I want to beg them in the name of the God that we serve. We should just focus. How many of them are there? We as the young people should come together, put our hands together, and make sure we push B2B to where we want him to be. B2B is our man.
All right, thank you very much, bro. You've spoken now. The time is up now. We understand the point you've made. We'll take it from there. I think the people have heard you as well. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Tony Agbos, please, let's fire on very quickly.
Yes.
You have a call. You have lots of call, man.
Yeah, go on. Let's take the call.
It's the people's show.
Oh, yes.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Have we lost the caller?
I think
No,
so.
I don't know. It's WhatsApp. Please, if you want to call, please call directly. These WhatsApp calls, we're having issues with them.
Dr. Tony Agbos?
Yes, thank you very much, my brother, pharmacist Iremira. You see, this stinginess thing, this is a stingy man, oh. Listen, oh. Peter Obi is very stingy, but Peter Obi donated 100 million naira of his money to a Catholic hospital in Anambra State. It's not government money, it's own money. Let's take the call.
Hello. Hello.
I think that call is not coming. Then the man is stingy.
Please, if you want to call, anybody, if you want to call, please, the device with which you are watching this program, reduce it or put it off. That's the only way we can hear you.
They can reduce it. Reduce
Yeah,
the
you can
device
reduce it.
you are using to watch us. Yeah. So I was saying he's very stingy. He donated another 100 million to Shanahan School of Nursing at Usuka. And they say he's stingy. Even the hospital where I was born in Benin, he has donated money, St. Philomena in Benin City, and some other hospitals across the country, in the north, in the south, everywhere. And they say he's stingy. So I don't see any stinginess there. But he doesn't waste government money. He's very frugal, he's prudent, and that is the kind of person we need in governance in Nigeria. Because what we have now is that we are living in a bubble. People are wasting our money, donating our money everywhere. And that Peter Obi will not do. Because if you watch that video, the priest wanted him to make a donation, on the stage there, and he refused. And said, show me something. But anyway,
Exactly.
like Comrade said, event have overpassed. I think the priest has already apologized, and the Enugu Catholic Diocese have already taken some decisions while they await the canonical process, which, Austin, you are a Catholic amongst us here. You can even tell us about that. So I think the whole thing has even become even a marketing for Peter Obi.
Yes. We have a beautiful music to that effect.
Beautiful music to that effect. Stingy.
In fact, the man did what he did, helping Obi to, some people to release a beautiful album.
Comrade, can we listen to that music, please?
Why not? With all pleasure, my brother.
I'm ready to dance to that stingy man. And I'm a member of the Stingy Men Association too. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Correct music.
Oh, yes. There's a caller.
Okay, yeah, we take the call. Yes, very good. Stingy music there. We like it.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, what's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm Mr. Daniel. I'm calling from Italy, Venezia.
Go ahead, Mr. Daniel, sir.
So we just
Yes.
It's hard time to my own contribution. It's hard time with the young Nigerians to stand up and fight our rights. To me, since Nigeria got their own independence, so there's never a good time Nigeria has ever. At least we all expect that this time Nigeria should have grown up to this extent. To this thing, because we are in 21st century. Now, every time we are talking about insecurity, no electricity. Now, 2023 election is around the corner. The same old politicians, which are member of PDP, APC, which gang got themselves together, they say they are the owner of the whole country, Nigeria. It's hard time we vote them out. We don't need all these bad leaders anymore.
Augusta, are you obedient? Are you obedient?
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. You do well. That's the most we want to take now.
Yeah. Thank you so much to all our callers. Yeah. I think Dr. Tony Abbas, have you finished making your point, or you want to say a thing or two?
yeah, what I just rounding up by saying that if it is stinginess we need to get somebody to be president of Nigeria, Peter Obi is very stingy, and I am a member. In fact, I'm a public relation officer of the Stingy Men Association of Nigeria. Now that group I did. And Austin, I don't know about you.
I am an ex-official member.
Thank you so much. Dr. Tony Agbons is obediently obedient.
And
He's the chairman and public relation officer,
yes,
Citizen Association District 101.
Oh yes.
And Comrade Raki is
ex-official.
Is ex-official member of that Stingy Men Association. Myself, I remain the life wire, the secretary of Stingy Men Association District 101. In fact, if I have a daughter and Obi comes in to ask his hand in marriage, one hand, yeah, I will give my daughter to Obi. This is becoming.
Have you heard, sir? Sorry, just before you round off. Well, I don't know if this is a joke, but it was presented very seriously. Armed robbers were robbing people, and a woman was driving, and the woman has her car branded, with Peter Obi's presidency, posters and every other thing. And eventually, when the armed robber approached her and saw, vote for Peter Obi for president, they did not steal a dime from her. They asked her to go because she's obedient.
Wow.
But the others that didn't have Peter Obi's signature, they were robbed. But this woman went away free of charge because she's obedient.
Oh my God. If that is true, I think it's a good omen.
Not joke. It's just a joke.
I felt so, but it was presented very seriously.
Yeah, it was a hypothetical joke.
Hypothetical illustration of the event.
Yeah, but I think for us, like what the caller was saying just now, our brother Daniel from Venice in Italy was saying is that we'll just keep up the sensitization. Nigerians, I think, have reached the brick wall. And when you push, somebody to the wall, you can expect anything. What we have in Nigeria now is obivolution. It is a tsunami. We are getting there. These people are in for a shock. They don't know. They think it is as usual.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons, for that. I think I want to use this opportunity to inform our viewers. If they haven't read your piece, you wrote a piece on obivolution recently, I think last week.
Yes.
Please let us know where it's available so that people
it's available at opinion.com.
Thank you so much. I think it was absolutely brilliant. I read it. I was very, very happy. Thank you for that. Last week, you used something you called PVC, Peter's Voters Card. How relevant is this to this tsunami, Comrade Lamte? PVC.
It is the key.
My brother, you cannot be hoping to be a millionaire by through Euro Million, and you are not playing Euro Million. You want to win, lottery, and yet you are not putting your money in lottery. It's as simple as that. You want to win, then you have to play. You understand what I'm saying? So PVC, Peter Victory's lottery, if you want to coin it that way, is very apt. It is the only weapon we have right now, to rescue Nigeria from the hand of the oppressors that unfortunately are Nigerians. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? Look at what happened in Ekiti. Robbery of democracy. Because people that have stolen from the Nigerian people are using the same money to buy Nigerian people to further steal from them. Well, I saw this cartoon on, what's it called? Was it on Daily Trust? It said, how would you define Nigeria's democracy today? Say, money of the people, stolen from the people to buy the people.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happened in Ekiti State. The money belonging to the people, stolen from the people to buy the people so they can further steal even more from the people. So we need to now move towards the point where democracy can actually be government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And that is what the PVC is going to give us. It is our strength. It is the key. It is the weapon. You don't have it, you can't have a say. So everybody must move to go and get their, those of age, to go and get their PVCs. If you have had yours before, you don't need to do a new one. So if you do, you may just eventually invalidate your own, the whole process concerning you. So all you need to do, if you have one before, get it. If there are issues to be amended, go to INEC office and of course let them update it for you. Maybe you have moved home, you are now living in a different place, you have left the state where you were before. Just go for update, and that is it. You don't need a new one, so that we can have this weapon to make that big statement when it comes to 2023 and enthrone Peter Gregory will be as the president of Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Comrade. Dr. Tony Agbons, you first used this word on the Comrade show last week, PVC. Just a one-liner from you.
Yeah, like the comrade said, people should go and get your PVC. Take time off. It is very important. It is our key to unlocking the destiny and future of our nation. God bless you all as you do.
Thank you so much, our people. We are almost running to the 2-hour mark on your darling program, The Comrade Show. Today, the 19th of June, 2022. You will agree with me that it's been epic. It's been a glorious day. And we've had lots of discussion pressing on the need to develop our country and move our polity forward. We started by looking at today, a special day in the life of men, Father's Day. And our guest earlier on, Dr. Loretta, looked at it from the women angle, and we also made support. The commendation is men are very pivotal in our life. A good society needs better men to be fathers. One of responsibility, one of mentoring, one of tutoring, one of everything that is good. And Comrade Inte, that you must be role model. You must be ready to take responsibility no matter the duties that is assigned to you. Our advice to all fathers out there, let us stand to be real men, look after our family, and indeed look after our society. We looked at it from the political angle. When we have good men all around, our politics will be good, and our polity will be better, and our country will be better for it. We've also frowned at the recently concluded Ekiti election, where we saw that the election, although was good, but it was unfair because democracy in some point was raped because money was involved. We saw a peaceful election, but we saw an unfair election. Comrade made that very clear. We also criticized in a very, very spirited way the outburst by Father Ejike Mbaka. But like we all agree, that has turned to something else. When a man's ways pleases the Lord, it makes even his enemy to be at peace with him. Father Mbaka outburst that would have been negative had turned out to be even better thing for Obi and the Obi movement. We've also concluded that PVC is strategic. Comrade has said, if you not enter the lottery, if you not play Kalo, you cannot win. The only way to play is to have what Dr. Tony Agbons has said, Peter's Voters Card PVC. If you haven't got yours, please do well to go and get it. I think it's open up until the end of June. There might be possibility that it might be extended. We don't know yet. But please get your PVC and be part of the game. It is better to be obedient at this time than to regret later, because the train is moving and we are moving seriously to our final destination. I must thank all of us, especially those who made comments on our social media handles, Twitter, Facebook. Thank you for all your comments. Today, indeed, has been wonderful. We recorded more than 10 people calling in to make comments on this issue as it affects us. On that note, I want to say thank you to Apostle Uyinosa, all the way from Nigeria. Pastor Edison from London, United Kingdom. Victor Osaige from Central African Republic. In fact, you called him twice. Thank you so much. Mr. Okadigbo from Yokohama, Japan. Thank you for calling back. We hope to speak with you later after this show. Mr. Theophilus, all the way from New York, United States. Thank you for your input. Mr. Vincent, calling all the way from Kogi State, Nigeria. We appreciate you. Mr. Kingsley, coming all the way from Manchester, United Kingdom. Thank you for ringing in. Our lovely lady, Obedient Kainde, all the way from Germany. Thank you for your input and your suggestion. Thank you also to Mr. Best, all the way from Austria. Mr. Victor, all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. And of course, Mr. Daniel, ringing all the way from, I think it's Venice or Venetia in Italy. Thank you so much for all your contribution. Thank you for viewers for listening to us. Thank you for all that you've done. Let us end today by saying, good men become good fathers, and by implication, good society. Whatever you do, remember, election is 2023. If Nigeria must move forward, your PVC is germane. Thank you so much for being part of the program today. And I want to call on Dr. Tony Agbons to say your final words, and then Komilante Bonsaraki can do the final razzmatazz.
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Comrade Remiran, for your solid anchoring today. For our viewers, thank you. I saw a lot of comments on YouTube, Facebook. You've all been wonderful on Twitter, everywhere. Just really engaging those that are called in. Thank you so much. It is because of you we are here. And we'll continue for the movement for a better Nigeria. Like we said, and like I said last week, obedience is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the voice of ram. I remain yours obediently, Tony Agbons. Have a nice week. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Komilante Bonsaraki, please do the final razzmatazz.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Yes, I want to thank everybody who's been part of this very engaging, program. May God bless you all. Let's not forget the strategy. Like many people have asked me, is that this month we need to continue. For those who have not had their PVCs, people have really reached out to us to say that they are finding it difficult. Please do not despair. Let's keep putting some effort. Let's make sure we have our PVCs before the end of this month. It's very important. It's very major to this process. Hopefully from next month, we are going to start unveiling, different strategies that we are putting up independently to ensure that, this movement grow from strength to strength from our own small angle. So let's be ready. Let's be assured. The hope is that the issue of, running mate will be resolved, hopefully between today, tomorrow, and the day after, so that we know exactly, what the picture is. And thereafter, we know exactly what to do from there. But for now, before every other issue is resolved, we owe it a duty to make sure we have our PVCs and guide it jealously. Like I said, if you have had your PVC before, you've done it before 2011 or later, please don't do a fresh one. If you have done a fresh one, you now have two by chance, go to INEC so that they can invalidate one and make one relevant. So we don't want to have a situation where people that have done PVCs before, but we are getting that report, they are not doing PVCs again. And in that case, if they vote, their vote are going to be rendered invalid because the system cannot afford to have two data of one person and all of that. So, but over and above all, let's get this information. Let's run to our neck, get this corrected, as quickly as possible, so that everything can be resolved perfectly well. Let's not forget, the idea is that we are giving birth to a new Nigeria, and the person that can champion that cause and is already championing it is Peter Gregory Obi. I am obedient. Are you? On that note, I want to say bye for now. May God bless you. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May God bless incoming President Peter Obi. Don't forget, we must be obedient.
My papa advised me, I do politics in honesty. No matter the pressure, I must stick to my integrity. Always cut my goals according to my size. I know they promise anything where my power no reach. My yes is my yes, my no is my no. I know they make it younger. I'm a single man by nature. My fellow Nigerians, singy presidency is better than those that will sail on Western currents. I swear, Daddy Gaga, singy presidency is better than those that will sail on Western currents. Ice water, overflow music.
Comrade Show. Wait. Comrade Lante Oriake. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show.